All right, everybody, so this is going to be the wrap-up of our journal challenge, where we're going to talk about kind of our experience trying to journal this way. So I've been journaling this way for quite a long time, and one of the first things I noticed was owning responsibility for your life changes how you look about your life. It gives you power to change it, because you know you can't change external things, but you can change yourself. And that is very empowering. So that was probably my biggest takeaway. And now we're going to talk to Britta and Ian and Olga and Ruth and find out what their biggest takeaway was from this challenge. And I want to encourage you to shoot a short little video with your biggest takeaway, upload it and hashtag it with hashtag Chic Sparrow Journal Challenge, and we will find it on YouTube. And I would just really love to see how this affected you, and good or bad, I would love to see it. So please just take a few seconds and let us know how it was for you. So here we go.
I learned a long time ago not to be too hard on myself when it comes to writing down thoughts or just writing what comes to mind, because it is what it is, and the point is to get it out of your head and onto paper. I think that it should benefit you. It doesn't need to benefit anybody else. So yeah, don't be too hard on yourself.
I've never been a big journaler, so it wasn't that hard. I just kind of wrote what I had to write, and it was easy because I was writing to me. So it's not like anyone's going to judge me. I'm not going to judge me, so I wasn't hard on myself.
I was slightly hard on myself. I feel like going in and just sort of being introspective and like writing about my life and analyzing it makes me a little bit hard on myself, but I feel like overall it's a good experience, and I feel like being hard on yourself and maybe getting a little bit down about that is just part of it, and then you move on and you move through it, and then you have that much more insight into your life, which I find to be helpful.
I wasn't that hard on myself, but I did approach this challenge as a fun thing, and I really enjoyed it.
I tend to take a lot of responsibility, sometimes responsibility that doesn't belong to me. I think that with writing it down and like seeing it on paper, it can help a lot to identify ways of thinking that for me like aren't necessarily in line with my values. Maybe I've adopted a way of looking at something that I kind of notice when it's on paper, and I go, oh, that's not really how I want to be, or that's not how I want to communicate. And so taking responsibility for that, or taking responsibility for a mistake that I've made too, I think that's a really empowering thing. And I tried really hard with this challenge to do that.
I mean, I'd like to say that I take responsibility for my actions. I mean, I'm not perfect. There's been times where I haven't, for sure, but writing it down on paper and then reading over it for yourself and being like, oh wow, like this has nothing to do with anyone else, like this is me, it helped to see that and then like take action.
I am used to taking responsibility for myself. I feel like that's just kind of the thing you have to do when you become an adult.
I try my best to take responsibility for my actions in life, but this challenge really helped me realize that I don't take responsibility for the good things in my life half as much as I do for the bad things. So it really kind of opened my eyes to the fact that I need to be more loving to myself, and that was really powerful for me.
So usually I'm very honest with myself on paper. Occasionally I run into this weird feeling of like imagining someone reading it, or like imagining, you know, oh, what would they think of me if they saw this? That can be like a little hang up sometimes, but as with anything, the more you do it, the more you practice it, you stop caring about that. So I would say in general, I'm pretty honest with myself on paper.
I try to be. I mean, sometimes you get in this habit of when you're talking to someone or telling someone something, you don't want to tell them everything, especially if it's hard, just because you know that you don't want them to have a bad opinion of you, and so you kind of get into that habit, or I did, of not always saying the full truth and kind of sugarcoating things. This did help. I tried to be honest with myself because, you know, I'm talking to me, so.
I was honest with myself. I feel like if I can't be honest with myself, then what's the point?
Yeah, when it comes to journaling, I'm very honest with myself.
The more you practice putting thoughts to paper, the more you practice taking all the things that are going on inside your head and putting them down on paper, the quicker you start naturally processing situations. And so I find that since practicing that, the next time I go to write, the easier it is for me to put thoughts to paper. And it just seems to speed up that process.
So this challenge in general was kind of hard for me, but I think especially when I went to structured writing, that helped me really get into the flow, and it was easier because I had something to write about.
Well, I feel like I wrote a lot more because once I started structuring my writing, I started setting out like 15 minutes every day.
In the second week of structured writing, it really helped me delve into what was actually going on in my head throughout the week. It helped me problem solve a lot better, so it was really good for that.
Journaling is always therapeutic for me. I always find writing of any kind to really be clarifying.
Honestly, in the beginning, it wasn't that therapeutic for me because it was a challenge. I didn't journal much before, so it was more of like, okay, sit down, like do this, you have to do this. And then after a while, like after the first week, it became easier and it became fun. Like I enjoyed it. It was something that I was like, I get like 10-20 minutes to myself every day, so it did become a little therapeutic, and I think I will continue to do it, maybe not every single day, but I definitely do want to take at least 3 days out of the week and write.
It was therapeutic for me. I'm used to journaling as it is, so I will probably continue within like my own regular routine, but I do find that this was helpful.
It was kind of like going to a therapy session with myself every day and seeing where I was. So yeah, it was very therapeutic for me. Yeah, I'll probably continue journaling for the rest of my life. I really do enjoy it.
Okay, so that was the rest of our challenge, and like I said, don't forget to make a short video letting us know your takeaway. Share that with us because I would really love to know how this style of journaling affected you, and let us know if it's something you're going to continue to do. I know I am, and I hope everyone else is too, if it was beneficial, of course. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will talk to you later. Bye.